having done this, let us look at some more basic concepts and some little conceptual problems based on those concepts. Let us say we have surfaces of these types. We consider this surface, let's say, and we have, let's say, wind blowing in this direction. These are the streamlines. Let's say the wind was laminar or uniform before hitting this surface. When it hits the surface, the streamlines go like this. Keep in mind that streamlines do not intersect or do not touch each other. Say this goes in this sort of fashion. Now, because the streamlines get close here, the pressure here will be decreasing, because of the fact that velocity is increasing here of the wind. If velocity increases here, the pressure will be decreasing. If the pressure is less here and the pressure is as before here, what will happen is there is going to be a pressure difference across this. If there is a pressure difference across this, there will be a net force in the upward direction. This is an effect of this sort of a situation. When we have curved surfaces and streamlines get close, we have a net force. Same thing happens with a cricket ball also. When we look at a cricket ball, it is thrown or it is spun. What happens is it cuts the velocity through it. So if one side is rough and one side is polished, due to the differential velocity speeds on both sides, let's say this is the rough side and this is the polished side, the velocity here will be less as compared to the velocity here. The pressure here will be more as compared to the pressure here. The ball will try to deviate in the direction of decreasing pressure. Same thing happens here too. We have a net force in the upward direction. So there is a high chance of huts. Huts are the houses where poor people live. Huts have these dome-shaped roofs. So there is a high chance when a large wind blows, these roofs might get uprooted. Let us similarly look at the other ones. Following the same logic, when we look at this will be experiencing a force in the downward direction because streamlines will be closer here. In this case, we have a condition. This case is an amalgamation of these two cases, and a lot of things depend on the radius of curvature of this and the radius of curvature of this. If the radius of curvature of this is more than the radius of curvature of this, let's say the radius of curvature of the lower surface is RL and this is RU. If RU is less, or say first more, is RL, then we have a force in the downward direction. Here if we consider this is a special case of this, the radius of curvature of this is infinity basically, and this has some finite radius of curvature which is less than infinity, so the force is in the downward direction, and same is going to happen here. If the radius of curvature of the upper surface is less than the radius of curvature of the lower surface, we have something of this sort. Then we have force in the upper direction. If both are equal, which brings me to this case, then we have no force. Let us look at another simple concept. Let's say we have a pipe like this. It is bending at this juncture. Let me draw a uniform cross-sectional area, because say this is a uniform cross-sectional area of this format. Let us consider 2 points at the bends. Say this is B and this is A. This is a horizontal pipe. What we are supposed to find is the relation between the pressures of A and B and the velocities at A and B. The relations. First of all, let's analyze the situation. What are the kind of situations this part is going to undergo when it is in this format? Let's say the fluid is flowing in this direction. Now, because it is taking a turn, this part is going to have some radius of curvature. Let's say that is RC. If some object travels along a circle or a bend of radius of curvature R, we have the centripetal force on it as m omega square, which is the angular velocity, or let's say if it travels with a velocity, linear velocity of v, we have v square by r. This is the centripetal force. Now, this force acts upon this bend. So what is going to happen as the radius of curvature increases along it, the centripetal force gets higher. So there is an increased pressure at B than A. So what is going to happen? The pressure at B is going to be greater than the pressure at A. Because this is holding and we consider that this is the same fluid and the streamline is the same between, let's say, these 2 points, let's say this point is somewhere here, then what we have is the velocity at B being less than the velocity of A. This in general holds because of the centrifugal action of the fluid. So whenever we look at a pipe of this bend and when we suddenly switch on the water supply, what happens is the pipe tries to move apart because of this fact. The movement of the pipe is because there is a sudden change of pressure. Initially the pressures were same, and as the fluid flows there is a net force, and the net force tends to move the pipe. If you look at the streamlines in this section, the streamlines are going to be looking of this format. As we go near and near to A, the streamlines become closer and closer. Initially they were almost parallel. So this bend is causing the streamlines to come closer, thus increasing the velocity at A, decreasing the velocity of B, and simultaneously increasing the pressure at B and decreasing the pressure at A, which is going to be because of the centrifugal force.